Howard Schultz held the top job at Starbucks for decades. Now he's facing questions from lawmakers in Congress just a few days after stepping down as CEO. Plus, we're hearing concerns from business owners and the response from law enforcement seeking long-term solutions to crime in Yakima. And taking a live look outside, it's been kind of a gloomy day today, but we are talking changes in the next 24 hours in your First Alert forecast.
Now, KAPP local news at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. We begin with the growing frustration over crime all across the state. The Greater Yakima Chamber of Commerce invited business owners and law enforcement to a meeting today trying to identify solutions. KVEW's Emily Goodell has a look at the current recommendation from police.
Yakima businesses are concerned not only with how crime like theft and burglaries is affecting their bottom line, but about how it's affecting the feeling of safety and security for employees and their customers. Law enforcement officials say getting crime rates down is a long-term issue, but there are things people can do to keep themselves safe right now. They recommend in every situation, whether it's walking out to your car at night after work or going to the movie theater with friends, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen?
Your brain is going to file those away, and in a significant situation, a critical incident, your brain can go, plug in, and you can say, I thought about this before. I know what to do.
Law enforcement officials are also urging Yakima business owners and community members to report crime when they see it, even if they don't think it's a big deal at the time. They say if they don't get that 911 call, a police report filed online, or an anonymous tip through Crime Stoppers, they don't know what's happening and they can't do anything to fix it. Reporting in Yakima, Emily Goodell, KAPP Local News.
Thanks, Emily. Now let's talk about your forecast. We're seeing showers move through the region right now. Jason Valentine has a look at when that weather is going to change.
Good Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to midweek. Hope you had a wonderful day today. And folks, we saw more cloud coverage than not today and occasionally wet conditions, very similar to what we saw Tuesday, but we're going to improve as we get into our Thursday. So something to look forward to. We do have cloud coverage to continue in our overnight period. We'll be a little cooler though for your morning, so make sure you maybe bundle up a little extra, but we expect plenty of sunshine tomorrow. Could see a little bit of morning showers for the Blue Mountain region, but other than that, we're looking mighty fine, and we're finally briefly going to be at our average temperature for this time of year. And then as we get into our weekend, we're going to continue to lag behind by about 5 or so degrees, which we really have been for the last 3 weeks. So more sunshine tomorrow, but winds are going to start to pick up tomorrow, 10 to 15 mile per hour. And then heavy winds are on the way as we get to Friday and Saturday and possibly even Sunday. So folks, get ready for a much nicer day tomorrow. All of that in my full forecast that's coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Jason. Now, the city of West Richland is saying goodbye to a prominent roundabout pretty soon. KAPP's Riley Fitzgerald brings us to the intersection of Keene and Bombing Range Road with a look at what's ahead in the next couple of weeks.
This roundabout, well, it's not going to be a roundabout for very long. Construction starts in April to turn it back into an intersection after nearly 20 years. The city says the roundabout just isn't up to handle the future traffic needs and a growth in population West Richland is expected to have.
We looked at a double lane roundabout, and we also looked at a signal option. And at the end of the day, a double lane roundabout would work, or a signal at that. But both had pros and cons, and ultimately council elected to move forward with the signal, with widening it out, 4 lanes, some multiple left turn lanes there on Bombing Range.
Construction starts officially on April 10th and the full intersection closure starts April 14th. The city says phase 1 of this project is happening until July and phase 2 takes place until September. Then you can start heading through green lights on Keene and Bombing Range Road in October of this year. In West Richland, Riley Fitzgerald, KAPP Local News.
Now, the city of Yakima has canceled April Pools Day. That's the annual free swimming and water safety event at Lions Pool. They're saying this is due to scheduling conflicts with a project to replace the HVAC system. They were going to close in April, but now that's been pushed out a month to May, meaning they should reopen just in time for summer. City staff say with a current temperature of 90 degrees inside the pool building and humidity at about 90%, the new HVAC system will make a huge difference.
We'll actually be able to chill the air. We'll actually be able to remove the moisture out of the air with the new HVAC system. The way it currently stands, we feel like Florida. It's very, very warm in here.
In the meantime, they have classes for water aerobics, swimming, and other programs with a full list on the Yakima Parks website.
Do you agree that it is workers who get to decide whether they want a union?
Senator Murray, I agree that the person at Starbucks has the right under the law to decide whether or not they want to join a union, and Starbucks Coffee Company also has the legal right to provide a vision for our employees, which currently represent 99% of the 250,000 who wear the green apron.
Longtime former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz facing questions from lawmakers today, accused of trying to stop workers from forming unions. Now, Schultz has insisted that Starbucks followed federal law, although the National Labor Relations Board disagrees, announcing penalties against the company earlier this month. ABC's Faith Abube has a closer look at today's hearing on Capitol Hill.
Tonight, Starbucks CEO Emeritus Howard Schultz in the hot seat as Democratic senators on the Health, Education, Labor and Pensions Committee grilled him over the coffee giant's labor practices. Schultz appearing under threat of a subpoena, especially clashing with committee chair Bernie Sanders, a strong supporter of organized labor. The Vermont senator sharply accusing Schultz of leading an anti-union campaign while he was in charge at Starbucks until his exit last week.
Starbucks has waged the most aggressive and illegal union-busting campaign in the modern history of our country.
Schultz denying any wrongdoing.
Starbucks Coffee Company unequivocally, and let me set the tone for this very early on, has not broken the law.
The hearing comes as employees in nearly 300 Starbucks stores voted to unionize. A federal judge ruling just last month that the world's largest coffee chain has engaged in egregious and widespread misconduct, violating federal law hundreds of times, including threatening and retaliating against employees, firing union organizers, and closing unionized stores.
This fight is about so much more than just Starbucks. It's about the labor movement as a whole. It's about service workers as a whole, and standing up for better for us.
But Schultz telling the committee while workers have a right to unionize, Starbucks also has the legal right to prefer maintaining a direct relationship with its workers.
We are 100% committed to fulfilling our obligations as an employer under the National Labor Relations Act and are committed to good faith negotiations on first contracts for each unionized store.
And Republicans on the committee generally praised Starbucks for creating jobs. One GOP senator calling the hearing a smear campaign based on allegations that are still under litigation. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Lawmakers in Congress are also moving forward with a proposal that would limit the president's war powers. The Senate voted 66-30 today in favor of repealing resolutions from 1991 and 2002 that allowed the Gulf War and the Iraq invasion, respectively. If the House passes the repeal, it's not likely to impact any current military deployments. But lawmakers said if this does pass, it would be the first time since the 1970s that Congress has repealed a war powers vote. A major development tonight in the fight against the opioid crisis. The FDA just approved an over-the-counter version of naloxone, which is the generic version of Narcan. You've been able to walk into Washington pharmacies and get the overdose reversal medication without a prescription for some time now. The FDA's decision means that you'll be able to buy naloxone off the shelf, just like common painkillers, without talking to a pharmacist. Advocates say having the medication on you and knowing how to use it could save a life if you come across someone who's unconscious and might have overdosed.
Step 1, check. Wake up. Step 2, give first dose of Narcan. Step 3, call 911. Step 4, watch and give more every 2 to 3 minutes until the person wakes up. It's possible for a person to experience another overdose, even without taking more opioids. And so staying with them until the ambulance arrives gives them the best possible chance of survival.
Now, doctors say if the person is not overdosing, the medication shouldn't hurt them. Now, local first responders have told us naloxone is a lifesaver, but it's not a cure-all. It can reverse an opioid overdose, but if you've taken something that has a mix of drugs, naloxone might not work. And while there are programs that provide Narcan for free, it can be expensive if you have to buy it for yourself. The FDA says it's up to the drug maker to set the price for Narcan, and the company that makes it says it will be available over the counter, online, and in stores by later this summer. Making headlines across the Pacific Northwest, the University of Washington is preparing to start testing the air quality aboard Seattle public transportation. They'll be looking specifically for fentanyl smoke, something one bus driver says has been making him chronically ill, even though health officials say secondhand drug smoke shouldn't pose a risk.
I'm glad that I spoke up. Hopefully it's going to help. That's a good start that they're doing that. At least they're paying attention. At least they're starting to believe the drivers.
So we're really focused on enforcing the code of conduct that we have. 0 incidents is our goal. This is always unacceptable. This is against our code of conduct. It's illegal.
Seattle Times reports more than 50 bus operators filed workers' comp claims because of drug or chemical exposure last year. Developing news tonight, Pope Francis will be in the hospital for several days because the Vatican says he's had difficulty breathing. Officials say the 86-year-old has a pulmonary infection, but it's not COVID-19. It's not clear how long Pope Francis is expected to be in the hospital. We do know this is a busy time for the Catholic Church. Holy Week begins with Palm Sunday this weekend, which of course leads up to Easter next weekend. Here in our area, let's take a live look outside. We're talking about a brief break in the rainy weather. Jason Valentine has a look at the timing coming up in your first alert forecast. And those overcast skies blocked our view of a planetary alignment, but tonight we're highlighting a local resource with an out-of-this-world view no matter the weather. That's next on KAPP Local News at 5.
Next extra, Chris Pratt's Super Obsession.
I played it at my house. I played it at the laundromat down the street.
Why his 9-year-old self is screaming as he brings Super Mario Brothers to the big screen. Next extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on KAPP.
Every 15 minutes, someone is involved in a semi-truck collision in the U.S. Whatever the cause, big trucks mean big crashes, resulting in serious, even fatal injuries, large medical bills, and loss of wages. If you've been injured in a crash with a big rig, call Abeta Nelson Injury Law today. We've handled the most big truck accidents in Central Washington over the last 40 years, recovering millions for our clients. Abeta Nelson, we take your injury personally.
Do you have a current vehicle loan or lease? Do you want a low financing rate? Do you want a new ride? 0 down and 1.9% financing even on used vehicles. SteveHahnAutoGroup.com.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
I'm getting backyard cookout vibes. Inside? Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger. Now you can take the backyard anywhere with honey barbecue sauce and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You guys are taking this backyard anywhere thing really seriously. Maybe next time you'll take that DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger to, the actual backyard.
We need a hose.
Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
The journey home can look a little different to everyone. That's why our expert technicians are here to make sure that wherever you feel at home, whether it's when you're hard at work, surrounded by loved ones, or cheering them on from the sidelines, you get there. Because we know a vehicle is really more than a vehicle. It's your way home.
Find your next Subaru at McCurley Subaru and get 3.9% financing.
It was the show that changed the face of television.
I loved you, fellas. One and all.
And its legacy in television lives on. MASH.
MeTV. Broadcast channels 35.2 and 42.2 plus Spectrum Channel 182. This newscast sponsored by WAGrant.org. That's WAGrant.org.
Mikes are donating 100% of their sales for today to the Arc of Tri-Cities. This is Jersey Mike's nationwide annual day of giving, but local franchises have taken it one step further. They've been raising money all month for this fundraiser. Locations around the country choose a fundraising campaign for local charities. Every dollar in sales today is going to Arc of Tri-Cities. The executive director of Arc of Tri-Cities says she came by for lunch and saw a packed house supporting the Arc this afternoon.
It was packed, out the door packed, and it's such a great thing to see. Tri-Cities is so supportive, and Jersey Mike's has been phenomenal on the promotions and the energy behind this fundraiser.
It's kind of near and dear to my heart what they do. They help to support the intellectually disabled in the local community here, and I reached out to her and said, would you like to partner? And she said yes.
Fundraiser again is taking place all day today. They expect to raise around $20,000 for the Arc of Tri-Cities, and they're hoping to team up again next year. All Tri-City Jersey Mike's close at 9 p.m., which means there is still plenty of time to go out and get a sub. Well, a stunning planetary alignment has astronomy fans buzzing. It was supposed to peak overnight into this morning, although you should still be able to see Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus lined up for the next few days. Now, unfortunately, here in our area, it was too cloudy to see those 5 planets lining up in the night sky. But at the CBC Planetarium, the ways you can learn about outer space are crystal clear. Our Madeline Hagan tells us about their remodel and what to expect once the place reopens.
So I got this all on video camera, but honestly, it does not do the CBC Planetarium Dome any justice. You'll just have to come see it all in person for yourself. Luckily, you can starting next week on April 7th. Visuals that are out of this world. Over $500,000 has gone into renovating the CBC Planetarium, from new projectors, lighting, and an interactive lobby for the little ones. Director Aaron Steinert says they're excited to welcome back visitors and hopefully spark an interest in the children that visit.
Trying to foster a lifelong passion for STEM education, and I really feel like this entire renovation is going to help.
The planetarium has over a dozen different programs that you can view. They're about an hour long and include a tour of the night sky, all in 4K resolution. Tickets for upcoming showings are available right now, but you have to reserve them online. Again, the planetarium reopens on April 7th. Reporting in Pasco for KAPP Local News, I'm Madeline Hagan.
Now, KAPP First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Wednesday evening, everyone. And again, folks, it is all downhill towards the weekend. We are warming up tomorrow. Overnight rain, though, is very likely, especially into our morning hours for the Blues. I'll get to that in a bit. And windy and rainy on Saturday. The wind's really slowly starting tomorrow, and then Friday picking up, and then we'll see the brunt of it on Saturday. So, a lot to talk about. Let's take a look at our futurecast, and as we move into our overnight period, we do have shower activity starting to form in the lovely Walla Walla Pendleton areas, maybe just a little bit into the Tri-Cities in our overnight period. So this is at 4 a.m. and it could persist into the your commute, just depending on how early you leave, and then that will be moving on out. So we should be seeing much nicer conditions. Maybe a scatter shower or two, but still more sunshine tomorrow than not. As we head into our Friday, we expect to see more cloud coverage and yes, a little bit of shower activity coming in from the from the west. So just a little bit of shower activity expected for your Friday. We expect to see a bit more as we get to our Saturday. So as I was saying earlier, we are looking at right around average temperatures as we get into tomorrow. But then we're going to be lagging behind by about 5 degrees off of our average. 62 is the average for the Tri-Cities. So for the week ahead, we're looking at highs more or less in the 50s like we have seen last week, the week before that, and the week before that. So we're in quite the groove of just a little bit under average. So our winds, we had more or less light winds today. We're seeing 10 to 15 mile per hour winds tomorrow. Then as we get to Friday, we'll be seeing those 20 to 25 mile per hour winds, 20 to 30 mile per hour winds on your Saturday, and then slowly ebbing off, but still pretty windy, 15 mile per hour winds for your Sunday. So blustery conditions are on the way this weekend. So in our almanac, as we've been talking about, we're 4 degrees below our average for Yakima, but hey, we're warmer in the overnight period. So just kind of making up that difference. In the Tri-Cities area, 6 degrees today off our average and 6 degrees warmer than our average low. So it does kind of work out in the end. 2023 countdown, the Mariners opener. Oh my goodness, it is tomorrow evening. Cannot wait for that. Easter is 11 days away, and the NFL draft is 4 weeks from tomorrow. It'll be right here on KAPP ABC. In our overnight period, we do expect to see a bit cooler temperatures, return to the 30s, but still staying above that freezing level. Mid-30s for the Ellensburg area and Yakima Valley. A little warmer the more east you go. 42 is your hot spot in the Tri-Cities. And as we get to tomorrow, again, early showers possible for the Blue Mountain region. Other than that, we're finally getting to the mid to lower 60s, mid to upper 50s as most of our cities warm up. More sunshine than not, but you could see an afternoon shower or two. 7-day forecast, again, cooler on Friday, and we're just going to be slowly cooling down into our next work week. We do have sunshine on the way, but occasional showers, especially on Saturday. Overnight lows are above the freezing level, though, for the week ahead. In the Yakima region, 53 by Friday, and again, we could see a little bit of morning or late morning showers, and we're going to stay in the mid to lower 50s well into our next work week. Some sunshine on the way, but also slight chances of showers. So get ready for winds to slowly pick up tomorrow, but we're going to see much more sunshine than we've seen since Monday for your Thursday. Overnight tonight, we could see a shower or two, especially in the Blue Mountain region, but get ready for a blustery and possibly wet weekend to come.
Thanks, Jason. And up next on KAPP Local News, we're talking about a push to punish a popular e-cigarette maker accused of deliberately making its products attractive to kids and teens. But first, STCU and KAPP Local News are looking for community volunteers in Benton and Franklin counties who go that extra step to help us all. If you know someone like this, you can nominate them by clicking on contests at yaktrinews.com. Every 6 weeks or so, we choose a volunteer to profile here on KAPP Local News, and STCU awards his or her organization a $1,000 gift. Thank you for nominating someone, and a big thank you to everyone who volunteers. We'll be right back.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
If you've got the TV volume way up right now, then you really need these. These tiny but powerful little hearing aids are the Nano CIC Recharge, priced at only $297 for a full pair. These are not simply amplifiers. These are ultra high quality, ultra reliable hearing aids, priced thousands less than other hearing aids. They fit right in your ear. Nothing shows in the back of your ear. Payments as low as $36 a month.
1-800-277-1540. Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance, and more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Stay connected with your world, wherever, whenever, with the KVEW Plus app.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
Big stories, first alert weather, live streaming, and more. KVEW Plus, available in the App Store and Google Play.
Coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, federal officials have approved an over-the-counter version of an opioid antidote for the first time. And a warmer and sunny Thursday is on the way. Jason will have your first alert weather forecast.
The journey home can look a little different to everyone. For some, it's smooth and straight. For others, it's winding vineyard roads or rugged desert trails. But what really matters most is where you're headed. That's why our expert technicians are here to make sure that wherever you feel at home, whether it's when you're hard at work, surrounded by loved ones, or cheering them on from the sidelines, you get there. Our certified and trained vehicle experts are committed to keeping you on the road and getting you there safely. Because we know a vehicle is really more than a vehicle. It's your way home.
Find your next Subaru at McCurley Subaru and get 3.9% financing on a new 2023 Subaru Outback, Crosstrek, and Forester.
With friends, there are no secrets.
You have a third nipple?
Julie was in a porno movie! If I'm going down, I'm taking everybody with me.
The best way to end your day. Friends, tonight at 11:05 on KVEW.
Making headlines across America tonight, the state of Minnesota is suing e-cigarette maker Juul, saying they illegally targeted kids and teens to get them hooked on nicotine. This is the first statewide case taking Juul all the way to court, although 39 other states and territories have filed lawsuits and then settled. Minnesota is claiming the company created a public nuisance with advertising and flavors intended to appeal to children.
The state cannot child-proof the world, and we're not trying to. But the law provides that its citizens are protected from companies trying to deceive, manipulate, and mislead them.
It's recognized that there will be youth use because these products are also capable of being abused, in the sense, not abused, but used by people that aren't supposed to be using them.
Now, Juul insists that its products were only intended to be used by adults and says the e-cigarettes can help smokers quit their habit. But it's worth noting that the FDA actually ordered Juul last summer to take those e-cigarettes off the market because the FDA said Juul hasn't shown that the devices are doing a good enough job getting adults to quit smoking to balance out the risk to children and teens. Juul is appealing that decision. All right, we are already seeing showers start to move on out of the region this evening. It's been a gloomy, kind of chilly day. Jason has some good news for your forecast tomorrow. That's coming up. A final quick check.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Tonight, the shooter, the victims, and what we're now learning from inside that school. Plus, tracking a new cross-country storm. Tornado victims again in the path. More Americans turn to the most-watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
It's Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Colon cancer screening is the #1 way to prevent this disease. Get more information at yaktrynews.com.
Colon cancer screenings save lives. Call Prosser Digestive Health Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
We're celebrating our 28th anniversary with a new Bronco Sport giveaway during Punch It for Bucks and Broncos at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Punch the board and win over $4,000 in big bucks and 2,800 entries to boost your chances to win our Ford Bronco Sport. Plus, don't miss Bronco Billy's bonus rounds where you can earn double the bucks. This Friday, 4 lucky winners will punch the board for big bucks or a new Ford Bronco Sport. Get your entries in today. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton, Oregon. More winners, more often.
Do you have a current vehicle loan or lease? Do you want a low financing rate? Do you want a new ride? 0 down and 1.9% financing even on used vehicles. SteveHahnAutoGroup.com.
The good news, US Cellular gives you $500 off any phone when you choose an unlimited evolved plan.
So nice.
So, a friend who always has a broken phone can finally get a new one.
It's just a scratch. It's broken.
Oh.
US Cellular, built for us.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Get moving in the most fun-to-drive Honda vehicles yet. Like the Civic, the vehicle car and driver called more fun to drive than the competition. And the HR-V. With more style, a more sporty design, and more exhilarating performance. Get moving and find the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
At Mattress Depot USA, we're all about being friendly.
Customer friendly.
Our sleep consultants would tailor the perfect sleep solution just for you.
Local friendly.
We grew up here.
Brand friendly.
The top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic.
Price friendly.
We always give you the best value.
We might just be the friendliest place on earth. Excuse me? Don't worry, you're still the happiest.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Hey ET, this is Miranda Lambert, and this is ET Certified Country.
Only we're in Texas with Miranda, ready for her Yellowstone close-up.
If I can play myself, which I am today.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on KAPP KVEW.
Welcome back. I've been watching rain showers on our Skywatch radar kind of make their way east, headed out of our area over the past half hour. We're only going to get a brief break. Jason Valentine has a final check on your forecast.
Okay, let's get you ready for your Thursday. Much more sunshine than we've seen since Monday. Highs are going to be in the lower 60s for the Tri-Cities, so should be a little bit warmer. Upper 50s to around 60 degrees your high for the Yakima region. Over in Walla Walla, we could see a little bit of shower activity in the morning, then getting up to those upper 50s. We're going to stay in the mid 50s like we were today, but sunshine in the Ellensburg area. And folks, on Friday we expect more cloud coverage and those winds to continue to pick up, but tomorrow 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. Should be a fine Thursday ahead.
Thanks, Jason. KAPP KVEW Local News is back tonight at 6.